fighter has the highest fight IQ?
I don't think there's nobody in the game that has the fight IQ that I have.
Off the charts.
His fucking IQ.
The highest fight IQ maybe ever.
This guy hits hard. He's tough. He's this, he's that. And this guy has a dream. But my fight IQ will win this fight.
Absolutely insane right now. Many moving parts. Not exactly sure where they're all going, but they're moving. We just saw Belal Muhammad versus Shavkat Rakhmonov is off. Belal Muhammad's out with an injury. I don't know exactly what it is. Martin, did you say you knew what it was?
He said that it was a bone infection, and he's going to be out for a while. So, yeah, man, they're looking at an interim shot here, interim title shot for this.
All right. Well, personally, I mean, before we get into new possible matchups for Shavkat, I was actually, not even lying, I was actually excited for this matchup. I think Belal's been improving a lot, like mainly in his aggression too. I was probably going to pick him to win over Shavkat, if I'm being totally honest.
Nice.
But, you know, unfortunately, we don't get to see it. We will see it down the line if Shavkat wins his next fight against whoever he's fighting for the interim. Hopefully we get to see it. What did you think about that matchup in the lead up to it?
I was pretty curious how it was going to go, but the closer it started getting and like the more I was thinking about the matchup, I was also leaning towards Belal. Just because, yeah, he's made up a lot of improvements. His gas tank is endless. His like striking is not really a threat, but it's mostly just to set up his grappling, which he's very dominant in. And I just didn't think I thought Shavkat was probably going to get smudge grappled, and it was going to, you know, be really. I was anticipated being bummed out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I pretty much was looking at
really
it the
fun.
same way. Yeah, Shavkat is fun, and he does like. I don't know, like I definitely agree with you, and I was kind of looking at the fight the same way in the lead up. That's the way I was kind of thinking it was going to go, but Shavkat has this way of making fights fun. I mean, obviously with his, 18 wins and 18 finishes, that's pretty clear. But I don't think he would have made that. I don't think it would have been a boring fight, if I'm being honest with you.
No.
I don't think like Belal would have been too nervous about Shavkat's stand-up to the point that he wouldn't have standed and traded with him at least a little bit. Because let's be honest, Shavkat is like not known as this like clean, crisp striker type of guy.
Yeah, he's known for just having really good all-around kickboxing and stuff. So I think that Belal would have definitely – he's been in there with more dangerous punchers. And I feel like he's just confident enough in his own abilities to be able to just impose his will on fighters. Like, that's just his whole style. It's like he's going to go in there, and he's shown against Leon Edwards, who's I think is a better kickboxer than Shavkat, that, he can be in there with somebody that can kickbox really well and stay safe and implement his game plan. So
right, and there was no point during that second Leon Edwards fight, obviously because the first one with the eye poke, that there was no point in that fight where Belal beat him that I thought like, oh, well, wow, Belal looks like he's like nervous about the kicks or nervous about straight lefts or whatever the case may be. Belal didn't look like he was worried about a single thing in there, which is like really, really cool. Really cool to see.
Yeah. How much of that is Belal's pressure and how much of that was Leon's not just showing up to that fight? We'll never know. Yeah. It could be the pressure that had a lot to do with it because, he was in his face the whole time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Leon didn't really do shit until like the last 30 seconds of that fight.
Yeah, it's hard to know like exactly what's going down in their minds. Every fight's different, and it's like, man, I don't know. Some days you're just on, some days you're not. Who knows if that was the case, but I don't know. I'm going to pull a window down here. I don't know if it's going to pass through the thing real quick. I was looking up John Jones.
John Jones.
I just want to have this window so I can look at stuff while we're chatting. Possible matchups for Shavkat next, because that's what they're doing. They're looking for an opponent for Shavkat for the interim. Does anyone jump off the paper that you think deserves it more than anybody else?
Well, I think deserves it more than anyone else. It's tough because everybody has arguments right now. because there's a lot of good prospects coming off good wins.
Yeah.
So my personal opinion on who should get the shot would be Jack Della Maddalena. Consistently has fun performances. He called out Shavkat in his last fight when he won.
Right.
Like,
I think
want
they
Shavkat.
were. Did they have a matchup made at some point? But then I think Jack got that infection in his arm, or I forget exactly what happened. But I feel like there were talks in the ether about Jack fighting Shavkat at one point.
Yeah, there was. I think might have been Shavkat that may have gotten injured, and then it was also Jack Della Maddalena.
Yeah.
I know they're both had like a little injury stint after their last fights.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately the floodgates are open now. Welterweight is a fun division that's just been on standstill for a while, and right now all the people that have just been camping their spot are going to start yapping. You know,
I agree.
You're going to start hearing from Colby. Ian Gary is already chirping, dude. Kamaru Usman's going to try and get in there, dude.
Yeah.
But ultimately...
I mean, bro, before the podcast, I was trying to rally you up a little bit by saying Kamaru Usman, don't forget about Kamaru Usman. He's ranked number 2 at welterweight. You know what I mean? Like,
I think Leon Edwards,
crazy.
I think if you're going to give any of the past champions a shot, just give it to Leon Edwards, see if he's down to take it. You know, because... Usman's coming off 3 losses, 2 to Leon Edwards, 1 to Hamza at middleweight. Leon Edwards is just coming off a recent loss to the champion in which he can make the argument, hey, man, I just didn't show up. It wasn't my night. And let me get the interim belt and then get the rematch with Belal.
Either way, I think Kamaru would be a better step-in because he has a more similar style to Belal. And it would be like, okay, well, Kamaru and Shavkat now fighting. So it's a similar kind of, it won't be, but, in the lead up, everybody will be thinking that it'll be a similar fight that we would have seen with Shavkat and Belal.
It would really bum me out if we had such a great opportunity to see some movement at welterweight and then it's just Usman again. It would just bum me out for sure. Because like we were talking about earlier, it's just such a fun division with a lot of people that could step up, that have claims, and then Usman's coming off 3 big losses, bro. So
yeah, but bro, when you're looking at it, like, Usman had a really fun title reign. Like him or not, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was fun, bro. He was active.
Yeah, he was active. He
His
had the
fight
2
with Gilbert Burns was sick.
The Gilbert Burns fight was dope. The 2 fights with
killed
Jorge
Masvidal, bro.
Oof, my goodness.
The second fight with Masvidal,
Bro,
the first one, I will not give him.
Kamaru's fun as a champion. We don't know if Belal is going to be a fun champion yet. He hasn't had the chance yet, really, but I wouldn't be terribly mad at Kamaru. Now, I would prefer a Jack Della Maddalena matchup.
Yeah, there we go.
I would definitely prefer that matchup. I don't want to see Shavkat versus Sean Brady. I don't think that's like, who would care about that at all. Colby Covington might be a little exciting, but I don't know. I'd rather see a Gary matchup with Shavkat than I would Colby Covington.
Yeah. I feel like it's like Ian Gary, Jack Della Maddalena, and then Kamaru Usman are like the 3 people I would think the UFC would put in that position.
I agree.
And it pisses me off that Usman's on that list, but I mean, he's going to be on there. But I'm telling you right now, like,
you can't not put him on there.
I guess.
I mean, he's literally number 2. He's ranked above Shavkat.
He's coming off 3 losses.
And then you go down the rankings. The last guy who you would really consider is Ian Gary at number 7. Past that, Gilbert Burns, like, he doesn't deserve it.
Isn't Sean Brady coming off a pretty legit win, or did he beat like a can?
No, it was who did he just fight?
I know he won.
Oh, he just beat Burns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he just beat Burns.
All right, who hasn't beat Burns?
Yeah, at this point.
At this point,
Yeah. Man, if I had to choose one of these guys, I'm going Jack Della Maddalena. That's the fight I want to see. When it was being talked about a while ago, I was very excited for it, and then it never materialized. So now's the time. Like, we've got the opportunity now to match them up.
Yeah, man, 100%. Ian Gary sliding in there could be fun too, I guess, because they used to train together. Who knows how that used to go, but I mean, we'll see. I guess time will tell. Maybe Pajeda takes over. We might get a fucking Pantoja main event, bro.
Bro,
Fucking kill me.
you know what I want to see happen? Which is a matchup that, like, if you look at those, like, all right, now this is going to sound bad that I'm saying it after I fucking say this is the people that say it. On Instagram, you've got these, like, MMA theory, like, hypothetical matchup pages. Like, these Instagram pages that just post, oh, this matchup would be cool, this matchup would be cool. But one that was talked about in the past, Shavkat versus Khamzat. Don't forget about Khamzat, bro, because right now the middleweight title still has to be played out. I don't think they're going to put Khamzat in there to fight Duplessis for the title because I think they promised it to Strickland. I think they're still going to do that.
I don't think promises mean shit in the UFC, bro.
I still think they're going to do it, though. It just kind of feels like that.
I see what you're saying, bro, because that same feeling you're describing is how I feel about Usman sliding into the title shot here. But I do agree with you, man. I feel like they should go Hamza because Dana White said he was reconsidering it. Drickus said he wants it. The people want it, bro.
Man, I would feel bad for Strickland.
Dude, he camped out. He camped out like the last 6 months, thinking he was just going to get a title shot. So
yeah,
off a lame win by Paulo Costa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Paulo Costa doesn't have a good win in the UFC.
I'm one of those people that merits how you win. Obviously, when it comes into title shot contention.
Yeah.
I think if you're a lame ass fighter, bro, you have to become undeniable and beat everybody. Yeah. But if you're coming up and you're like putting on insane performances like Khamzat is doing to everybody. And then or how Ilya was doing, just making statement after statement after statement on all of his wins.
Yeah.
Like, bro, how can you deny this guy, you know?
Yeah. And when you bring it back to the welterweight division, Jack Della Maddalena is that guy.
Yeah, bro.
Every performance, you're like, that was fucking cool. That was a fun fight.
And he trains with Craig Jones on the regular, so he has like these very like intricate reversals. And dude, Craig Jones wrote the book on anti-daggy wrestling. He has like I'm not even lying to you. I want to say he has instructionals like just dedicated to like anti-grappling for Dagestani wrestlers.
Yeah.
And Volkanovski showcased it well against Islam.
Yep.
And then Jack Della Maddalena hit some pretty crazy reversals against Gilbert Burns too.
Yeah, dude, I was super impressed with his scrambling ability in that fight with Gilbert.
With the broken limb too. I think it was his arm. He broke his arm in that fight early.
Yeah. At the end of round 1, I think. Insane. Mm-hmm. I think Jack Della Maddalena is the guy you give it to. That's the fight IQ take.
100%.
You agree?
Yeah, dude. That was my first guess. I was like, dude, please give it to JDM, dude.
That's how you fix the welterweight division. It's in shambles, but that's how you fix it. Jack Della Maddalena versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. Boom.
Boom.
Adios.